Now, he may be known over the years for the Fast Show, although his pastime is anything but. Paul Whitehouse has gained a cult following alongside Bob Mortimer with their hit series Gone Fishing, which is just so brilliant because it combines the comedy, the friendship, the love for the great outdoors, and it just draws you in, doesn't it?
And two grumpy men having a laugh and chatting about nonsense while
Not
fishing.
always grumpy,
I was
are
going
you?
to say friendship.
You see, there you go. That's the grumpy bit.
That's the grump.
With the most beautiful scenery as well.
Yeah.
6 seasons they've done under their belt, another one in the pipeline. Paul's giving Bob grief and he's not even here to defend himself.
I know. It's very unfair.
As
That's
you know,
the best way to give Bob grief.
when he's
Because
looking.
he'll come back at you like a shot. You know, he used to be a lawyer in a previous
He
life.
was, yes. He's got form.
He's too quick for his own good.
Yes. Well, quick in, other than moving
Yes,
wise.
yeah,
Movement,
yeah.
that's
Very
got-
slow mover, like an old Diplodocus.
a nice petite Diplodocus. It's lovely to see you this morning.
Very
as
nice to
you
be here.
know, I'm a huge fan of Gone Fishing. It's become one of my most enjoyable series that I watch. Have you got a Christmas special that you've done? Are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, we've got something coming out over the festive period.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Right.
About that.
What can you tell us about?
It's where two old men go fishing and celebrate the joys of the countryside.
It's so extraordinary, isn't it? Because I know we've talked about this before. You can imagine going into a young buck TV commissioner and saying, we want two old grumpy blokes to sit on a riverbank, very little is going to happen, and we're just going to sort of waffle away.
Is that how you
and
see
chat.
it, Kate?
No, but you can imagine how that pitch might have landed.
Absolutely.
And yet the reality is just addictive to
Well,
watch.
it's
It's
done
beautiful,
very well, thanks,
it's
Kate.
relaxing,
Thank you.
it's fantastic.
As you say, it was an interesting pitch. But we took it to a factual department because we thought, because of the heart disease
Right.
and some of the elements of the fishing, we thought, if we take it to comedy, as you say, some young person would have sneered at us, you know. But we took it to factual and they went for it because I don't suppose many people, you know, who are well-known go to the factual department going, hey, I've got an idea for a show here. so yeah, you know, to their credit, they ran with it and gave us the sort of freedom to do what we wanted, really.
And they also probably know that fishing is enormously popular.
Well,
You might not have seen it much on TV before, but the passion is out there, isn't it?
There's a fair bit on TV that I love watching. Some of those river monsters. And
River Monsters, Jeremy
stuff.
Wade, and there's some very technical stuff with some of the more sort of extreme carp fishers. But I think, actually, probably part of our success is we appeal to people who don't fish.
I agree.
And, you know, it's a very niche thing if you're not careful. But we celebrate the joy of the countryside and our interaction and our as friendship.
I love it.
It becomes about a different thing, doesn't it? Not just about fishing. But...
And you've written this book, Paul, along with John Bailey, How We Fish is the new book. Now, John works with you on the series, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I've listened to the audiobook, which I love, but hearing John add his little bits, because John's the patient one who has to set up the fishing for the shots for you and Bob.
Exactly. John and I always discuss where we're going to go, what species we're going to go for. He knows the angling world sort of intimately.
Oh, there's John.
There he is. Look, handsome fella, isn't he? Look.
Yeah, what's in front of the camera? What's
that's
going
why
on
we
there?
don't let him on. Too good looking.
Get the girls.
Exactly. But no, John's he's written angling books for decades and he's really well travelled. But both of us love nothing more, and Bob obviously as well, than fishing in this country. If you said to us, you can't go anywhere else, we'd be very happy.
My wife struggles with a bit of struggling to sleep. And I love it because you said the same thing, but what you do when you can't sleep is you imagine you're fishing.
Yeah, because it's so boring and dull most of the time. You know, they say summer fishing is the fish of 1,000 casts. So I sort of put myself through that torment and very dully make my way down the river, not catching anything.
No, of course.
That'd be too exciting.
The difference with counting sheep, you're just counting the casts.
Exactly the same process. Yeah.
I guess as well that, you know, I think we're all becoming aware of how busy life is. And actually the act of just being still and something that makes you be still is incredibly therapeutic, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you said to your significant other or your friends, I'm going to the riverbank now to meditate, they'd probably go, oh, yeah.
But
that's what we do, really. You know, it's kind of fishing is a thing to hang it on, but really, when you're there, you're just immersing yourself in the
In the environment.
And, of course, you're at the sharp end of something that's very news topical, not just in the love of the countryside, which is the pollution of
water
rivers.
quality,
And I know that the water quality of where you fish is something that you
Yes,
campaign a lot.
I mean, some of the places we see first, it's anglers that see firsthand. There's just been some significant legal victories against some of the water companies and the Environment Agency, ironically. And, of course, as anglers, you see it firsthand because you're immersed in the environment. You see it before anyone else. You know, and I'm a bit of a Johnny-come-lately to the media campaign, shall we say, although I've always been involved in it on a personal level. But, you know, we need to thank Fergal primarily.
Yes. Fergal Sharkey, who's been in here with us, and he's on the show with you and Bob as well.
You know, Fergal's, I regard him as a friend, really, and we've fished together and we... Obviously, he's fantastic, isn't he? Because he will go for it, won't he?
He really is passionate about it, and he's making a difference as well. He's getting that narrative out there and people are listening.
Very much so. It's become what they say is a tier 1 issue now.
And you regard him as a friend, despite the fact that he was in a band that, after he left, rejected you when you auditioned.
I know, I did it all.
Could have been 80s rock stars together.
Could have been. Well, no, Fergal had left to go on to bigger and better things. But the rest of the Undertones formed a band called That Petrol Emotion. They were quite successful. And I auditioned for it and I didn't get the gig, which I'm very pleased about.
What was the feedback? What did they say? Did they say why?
I couldn't understand the word. I couldn't understand the word of it. It's proper Belfast.
A heritage.
I left.
Well, did they tell you to go fishing?
They didn't put it like that, but they told me to leave,
Paul's book with John Bailey, How He Fishes, out now. Really lovely Christmas present. I know someone's already snatched this one for one of their partners secretly. And the audio book has Bob's foreword, which you claim he recorded in the toilet, Paul.
Well, it sounds like it, doesn't it?
So if you want a little gem of Bob recording on the loo, a little foreword for the book, it's thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyable. Paul, lovely to see you. Thank you for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Can't wait to see the next series of Gone Fishing as well. It's great to see you.
Thank you.